Hey guys, alright, so I am back. We be back to finish these pendants up. So pretty excited to get them cruising. Also, I got a new light, so hopefully y'all can see a little better. I am going to adjust us just a tad on our camera view, so that I'm not trying to reach so far back. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited as we wrap this series up. Let's finish these goodies and get them all beautified. I remembered I needed my UV light. But the first step we're going to do is we are going to get the ones that need dremeled. Go ahead and get them cleaned up and dremeled and get the backs. Well, these have been dremeled, haven't they? So let's get the backs on them, actually. So if you recall from the last video, I have this resin tape. It's got a lovely hair on it. I'll take that off. And we're going to use the same resin tape because I don't really need to get fresh, because it's just enough to hold these down while we coat the backs. So I'm just sticking them on here, no particular way. And then we'll get our Let's Resin UV resin, so that we can get these backs done. I'm noticing how dusty my space is from all the dremeling from the last video. Like I need to get like a mini vacuum and like suck all that up. So I probably won't need a ton on these, but some of these have that paper back, so they're gonna really probably soak some of this resin up. So we'll get us a layer. And then we might have to do another layer depending. And I did that first one a little bit funky in the sense that I went right around the edge opposed to going from the middle and going out, but it'd be okay. We're gonna be just fine. We just bring that in and then it's good. This one has that little bit of a funky spot here where it just had a bubble, so we're going to try to get that a little bit more filled in. And then again to the edges. And then same thing. Bring it to the edges. Look how pretty that's coming as the color absorbs it. This one's leaning a little funny, but I think it'll be okay. If this was like a pour, I wouldn't want it to stay leaning while it's set up, but because we're gonna throw it under the UV light, that's gonna be just fine. Just fine. No problems. Okay. Let's get that. Yep. Alright, this one is going to need another coat for sure, because that paper is sucking in that resin. Alrighty, let's throw that under our light. Now, it's probably out of view, so I'll bring it over here. Whoops. This is the Let's Resin UV light, and we're doing 2 minutes on it. That's sufficient. This is the dual light. The bottom isn't on right now. It's not lined up properly because I moved it, but I don't need the bottom. I really just need that top light going through to cure that resin. So that's good. These, we are ready to start adding or to drill our holes. So we can't do anything till we get them. Then these, we need to determine if they're going to need any. Now we dremeled them, right? So it's just if they need some resin on the back, which This one does probably need a little bit because it's got some funky bubbles that had occurred. That's right. We did all of our dremeling. That's right. Couldn't remember, but now I remember. I actually might just do a quick run over these bubbles and then we'll Dremel that up and then probably just put a thin layer on it. I think for the most part though, those aren't going to need it. It's just this one. Let's let those finish curing. They're probably good enough that I could Dremel this, but just so that we don't risk it. Or actually, I'm going to Dremel this just off site, off a camera. Not off site, like just over to the side. Off camera. Just for time's sake. Y'all saw me Dremeling a ton the last time. And that's really all it took. It was just a real quick voila. And then I think if we do a layer of resin on it, it's going to be good. And then I'll check the rest of those, but I don't think they're going to need it. I'm going to just add this one on here. So I might do a little bit more to try to get this cleaned up. Yep, I got a couple pokies. A couple little pokes. Pokey pokes. Okay. This is the one that was like really going crazy. This one doesn't need much. This one needs some there. Some of these just need like an ever so thin layer, so I'm not worried about getting them super well. I will say with this new light that I have in the space, I probably will need to be a little bit cautious about my UV resin work and making sure that I'm curing pretty quickly and not leaving any resin visible to that light, just because I'm afraid it would start curing. It's bright enough. This corner has been so dark lately, partly because we had a light in this room go out, and I think the whole fixture has to be replaced. It's not just a light bulb, which is a pain. Not the end of the world, but a pain. So I was like, I need something, and this popped up on this light that I got popped up on my like For You kind of page on my Amazon, and I was like, I like it, and it was on sale, and I was like, I like that. I think that would be a good addition. And it clamps onto the desk, and it has a remote and everything, which is kind of cool. Not like necessary, but kind of cool, right? You can change the brightness on it, so this one I'm just really getting a layer on it. I'm not worried about it getting a thick layer. I am trying to get it to connect though, so I don't have a funny divot or something. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's pop that back under the light. We'll check these others out. And then we should, a couple of those might need a little touch up of Dremel on the side, just because they are a little rough where the paper and the resin connected. All these feel really smooth on the backs, so I'm not worried about adding more resin to the backs of them, because we had already backed most of them anyway, I believe. That was so many episodes ago that I'm like, I don't remember, but I feel resin on these, and these were paper on the back, so okay. Good. So I still have my 2 markers out, so we'll start deciding what color is going on what, and then we'll switch our Dremel to a drill bit and get holes drilled in them. and add our connection pieces, which is exciting because then we get to finally get some pieces pulled together and finalized, which to me is always exciting when we do that. I'm like, sometimes it's little things, you know, when you do it, you're like, ooh, I have this now. I have that. Oh, I did want to tell y'all, I found my 2 screws that I was missing in the last episode that I talked about. Really, really odd. They were very blatantly where they were at, and I moved a couple little things in a random spot, and I had been like, St. Anthony, I need you to help me find these screws, and so forth. And I mean, no time, like I moved some little things, and I was walking back by to leave the room, and I was like, there are my screws, and I started laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking all over. I was getting ready to see if my husband had some that fit. I was like, I spent so much time looking for these darn things. Okay. So I don't think we'll need the UV light anymore because we should be done with it. I'll leave it plugged in, but just over to the side. This one actually might need a front coat now that I say that. So I'm going to flip that tape upside down so I don't get resin on it or get dust on it. And then we'll come back and we'll coat the top of this one. This one's fine, but this one definitely has some roughness that I need to get down. So I'm going to move this out of our way. So this just has like, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's just a little hang up on the edges here. So we're just going to get that cleaned up, basically. You can see where fresh resin had hit the side right here, so I'm just going to scuff that up so that when we do our edging on the sides, we get a good edge. And I'm a little bit concerned right here. I think I might need to put just a tad of resin in there. It looks like we didn't get a good connection and seal, so I'll probably do that. This one has just a little bit too. That's just a smidge rough. Just like right in here. Oh, much better. Okay, so that one doesn't need anything else besides we're ready for that. These two, oh yeah, I scuffed. Oh, it almost feels like that's the one that I did scuff. I'm probably on these gonna just paint over the back side of them, so I'm not gonna worry about that. It's almost like that resin didn't fully cure when I did that back. It's kind of weird. But okay, so this one, our hole is very sharp, and then our top is very rough. And actually, I'm gonna throw a coat on top of it. I was like, maybe I won't throw a coat, but no, I'm going to. Just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna do that one and that one. This one's pretty good. Needs a little. There we go. I don't think he needs anything else. He's ready for his trim or edging, whatever you want to call it. So is this one. This one still kind of has this funky spot right here, but I think we're okay. I'm just gonna scuff this side up a little bit so that it's even. Yeah, okay. Like it. So just these two that need a little bit of extra love. And before I go doing anything, I'm just going to spray just a smidge of water on a paper towel, and I'm going to wipe the top, and then I'm going to dry them. Just trying to get that dust off, essentially. And that one I don't need the top, it's more that I need to get the side. So I'm going to put a little extra on this guy than what I think I need. And with my tool, once I have enough on my tool, I'm just going to take my tool, get a little bit of resin rolled around on here, and just fill that in, basically. And that's all we're doing, is just creating a little fill patchwork. Get the bubble that's there out. Let me see if that bubble is not part of this group. Okay. I think that's really all we need. So, this one being where it's at, I'm going to try to put it in like so. Would have been handy if I had put that on my tray and then done it, but that's okay. You know, it's all good. Alright. So pretty soon we're going to be done with our UV resin, which is exciting. But we don't need that. And then it's just a matter of choosing how we want to coat these. Okay, I want silver on this one. Some of these are easy for me to tell. Silver on that one. I think I'll do gold on these. Okay, and then I think I want silver on those. Alright. So if you guys recall, these paint pens, they are oil-based. So they dry really pretty quickly. And they go on pretty smooth. You don't need to add anything afterwards. They'll be done. But it has to be shaken. Shooken. I was almost going to say shooken. Gotta be shooken. But it's got to be shaken. And then I will tell you it smells like spray paint. Just always my little warnings on that. And I'm going to do the back side, which could be a little bit interesting. So I'm going to need to do like half, let that dry, and then do the other half. Probably when I get this one done being edged, just because of the way it is. Yeah. These are going to be so good. They're so pretty. These are going to be some pretty earrings. They're so dainty and delicate. Like, they almost don't even need edged, to be honest, but you know, since this one I didn't scuff up, so it's going on a little different than this one did. Let's see if I can get this half done and blend our halves so that they don't look funky. No, still a little tacky, but okay, we got it. I hope that I did the thicker side down first on this one, so then I was able to hold the thicker side. Alright, and then these were going to be coated in silver. So, biggest thing is you just don't want to land on your front with your marker. And if you do, you got to work fast to get that off because it is oil based and it does dry so fast. So, if it means you got to take a few extra seconds to avoid that accidental happenstance, I would definitely do so. Don't get rushed. This process that we're doing is all about patience. You know, just some patience. Okay. This one did that thing where it bubbled upwards, which I kind of like where it is because to me it gives this piece some uniqueness. I want to do gold on it. This one will be silver, so we might as well, let's look. So I'm going to scuff that up before I paint the silver on it, because I need that edge to be scuffed so that it's not blatant that it's not. I want that same look underneath, essentially. So now I think we're done with the UV light. And again, just making sure I don't hit the front of my piece, since I have limited time to work on it. Okay, where is my lid? And this is done. I'm not going to reuse the tape the third time. We got our use out of it, basically, is what I would say. Alright, so it's shiny. I'm going to actually show y'all really quick so that you can see this. Make sure that you're in camera and can see. Let's focus. Okay, so you can see where it's super shiny here and then super dull here. So if we were to coat this, see how that one looks, and then this one looks, and you can see where that bump is. So that's why I want to Dremel that out, so that it's all the same level and we're not seeing the difference there. Yep, now we're all even. Perfect. Yay! Alrighty. So, now, when we coat it, we'll have that same similar look going all the way around it. We won't have a shiny spot. That's why. Ultimately, if it had all been shiny, fine. Do your coating. And then it's all shiny. But if you've got rough and shiny, it's easier to rough up the shiny part so that it gives you the same look. Alright. Looks good. Looks good. Like it. I'm not going to do these just yet because I want to keep them, you know, somewhat sorted. So probably what I'll do is when we go to drill their holes, that's when I'll coat the edges of them. But let's get these others that are going to be gold. These are done. That's the bad thing about these pens. I always struggle with the lid, and it's so rough on the edges that it kind of hurts when you pull it on. I'm like, ouch. My fingers, my sensitive hands. Not that I really have sensitive hands, but when it comes to that lid, I feel like I do. I feel like this pendant could be worn almost either side forward, depending on the person's taste. Like, this is clearly the front, and it's so stunning. But you could really wear it with that as the front, too. Oh, yeah. Let's cut these. I might do this whole back side so that it's just all kind of... If you don't want the paint on you, I would get a pair of gloves and just put them on. So this, because I chose to do the back side, I probably should have made sure my resin was smooth and even everywhere. But so we can see where it's not really even right there because we did that. But I think once this is all done, it will be okay. I'm not going to be able to do my two ends where I'm holding until one of the sides dry, or till these two sides dry. So we'll probably put it down here in a minute, let those dry, and then we'll do the other one and come back and do the ends, just because I have nowhere to grip it. When you're working with small pieces like this, it makes it a little challenging in that aspect. So I'm going to leave this one not done on the back, and we'll see which we like. Plus this gold pin, I feel like has more paint in it, so it's a lot wetter. So as I'm using it, it's like, okay, it's definitely flowing and coming out, so forth. Okay, so we'll do the ends of them. It's just, we're gonna give it a minute. Let's switch our Dremel out and make this be a drill bit that we want. I think we're okay with the small. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, got the big one out. There's our small one. And here's our small little piece. So you gotta have it on. So turn it on, push the button, and then you loosen this black piece, and then this, in theory, comes out. That comes off. In theory, that comes out. And then there's the little bit piece kind of that like goes into, this was in there with the black piece in between, and that secures it basically. Okay, so reverse it, putting it back together. We got our gold piece, we need our black piece on first, or second I should say, and then our bit goes down in the hole of that gold piece inside the black piece, and we tighten the black piece all the way back down. If this is spinning, you can't do that, but if you have it stopped, then you can. And if it's just, you're like, well, why did you turn it on then? You should just be able to do it here. Well, no, because this just fully spins. And you can't push this down to lock it when you're doing that. So you have to have it on. That is how it goes. It'll be like, well, why? I'm like, well, that's just how it is. I don't know why. That's how they make them. Alrighty. So, this is a piece of cardboard. Came in some kind of furniture piece. It's thick. No way that I would go all the way through this and hit my table, which is why I have that big of a piece. So the fronts here have the hole, and so I'm going to use that hole as my guide, and I just want to go straight down and in to make our hole. Let's find that other little one. So same thing. Nice steady pressure, but not overly forcing either. And then that gives us a perfect hole to work with. So this, I'm going to throw back in our bag just so that we can keep track of that. This has the ends. Whoops. Okay. I can't do it with the middle in between my fingers. Let's get the ends done. That's so pretty. Like, by golly. Felt like I got really stuck to it. I'll just do that again, just to give it a little. Okay. I'm gonna let those dry a tad more. Do I have any other ones out there? Okay. And then we're gonna basically get all of these done, and then I'm gonna put them in my little cup that I have, or my little tray. That's resin as well. Look how pretty. I love how this like swirls up into there. That was a fun little trinket dish that I did. Poured clear first, and then some colorant with that's probably alcohol ink, just based on memory and then the look, truthfully. And then this is mica powder. And then this is a gold alcohol ink that I swirled into the bottom with the mica powder. So it's fun. So that's what I'll put them in as soon as their hole is drilled. So it's just finding the side that has the hole started. I'm going to my setting 2 right now just because 1 would probably be fine if I was fully charged, but I'm not. And truthfully, that's given a lot of resistance, so just pulling it back up and out when we were getting the resistance is key. And then I'm just gonna give it a little extra to get around the hole, just to make sure that we're good and drilled. It's that paper, you can see it on here. And that's our hole. So when we're getting that resistance, it's just a nice steady pressure, but like if I start to hear it struggling, like right there, I'm going to pull it back up, start again, pull it back up, start again. Worst case is you cause your tool to completely stop on you because it decided it was too thick and it didn't want to short itself fully out, so it will auto stop. So that's what you got to be careful of. I'm like, why is all that powder there? It's just the paper. Okay. And I would always go on the side that has the hole already started, and then work your way to the side that doesn't have the hole started. Because let's be honest, who's going to be able to drill a hole from the back to the front and get that hole aligned? So the only reason why I flipped it over to the back here was just to make sure that we get that hole nice and open so that we're not fighting it here in a little bit. I might have to go to my 3rd level on this speed just to give it a little more help. Yeah, we're getting dust all over them. We're gonna have to wipe them off, but that's okay. Oh, this one got filled on both sides, but I can kind of see it, so I think I can, yep, I could get through the resin on the top layer. But this one we're going to go up to level 3. And there you go. So that's how you stop it. You go too much and it's going to say we can't do any more. And whoo, that drill bit is hot because of the friction. Not smart to touch. Let's just see. Oh, we're so close. Okay. We give it a second and then we go back in. Oh yeah, we got it. Okay. This one didn't have much at all to go through, which is nice. I'll just bring that hole a little bit bigger in the back so we're not fighting it. It's like, oh. We might have to touch up the back of that one with the paint on it, but we'll see. It also runs out of spot for all that debris to go, so that can also kind of hold things up. Alrighty, we're making progress, y'all. Making progress. Huh. This one, I didn't even see where there was a hole. So that'd be something. Do we not have a hole on this? I can't imagine that there wasn't. But, well, we get to choose a spot. We're going to try. I actually think it might have been right in here. So I'm going to go there and we'll see what happens. That's just what I thought might happen. Because we're trying to go through so much, but hopefully I have enough battery to get all our holes drilled. Goodness. There, we're through. Okay. That's interesting, the color that comes up. Not real thick paper. Okay, look at this. We're just cruising. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. Okay? I really have another that I can't find the hole on. It's gotta be right here. But not seeming like I hit it, so well, I was able to save. Three more of these ones, y'all. Oh, that one was so nice. Big thing. Love it when it goes that smooth. Like, yes. Well, that's one thing I would say about the artist paper. I can tell you which one is artist paper just by the drilling and how much debris is coming out. Alright, one last one of these. I know, you're getting tired. We are too. We're tired of drilling. But yeah, we've got some others, but we'll give you a break. How's that? Look at that. Yay! That white and that will come out. It's just not clean at the moment. So, a little bit of water on a paper towel. And we just clean these kind of right on up. We'll be able to poke right through the hole and everything. So I just dumped them out in front of me. Probably can't see it because it's off camera, but just to give them a little wipe off from all that debris and dust that we had going. and then put them back in our little trinket dish. And then I would put all this just straight into a little plastic trash bag or to your trash bin so that that dust is all cleaned up for you. I'm going to keep my board, my cardboard, because it is useful and has proved to be useful, and I don't intend to buy any more furniture anytime soon, so I don't know when I would get another big piece of cardboard like that. Alright. And I'll keep this handy, but I'm going to just take that duster on off into my trash bin. Now, space is also still dusty from all of our journaling, so I'm just taking that wet paper towel and kind of wiping us off just to give us a little bit of a fresh workspace. I'm going to let this, it's not overly hot actually anymore, but I'm going to let it cool for just a little bit, and then we'll work on getting these. Let's get these ones rolling, and then we'll work on those. So basically it's just determining what kind of hook are you going to do, and are we going to make it into a pendant per se, or is it going to end up being earrings? If it's earrings, I'm going to do something probably more dainty, jump ring, smaller jump rings, things of that nature. If it's going to be a pendant, I use these, I think they're a C-clamp. I'll find them and I'll put them in the notes. But basically I use them because they are the handiest when it comes to attaching necklace portions of mine and pendant pieces, or like keychain pieces. But it does have two sharp pieces, so I need another pair of pliers, which I have an abundant amount of them, but when I need them, I'm not finding them. So I just need to open this up a little bit more just to get around the thickness of this one. And then once you get them both in the area, it's just all about closing that up so that it can't open back up, basically. So there we go. And really, I should have put my jump ring on that before I attached it, and then we wouldn't have opened the jump ring at all. But that's okay. Next time, next one we do here in a minute, we'll do that. So here's the little jump ring, and the only reason why I'm putting a jump ring on is that will make whatever next we connect to it easier. If we end up having to put it, truthfully, a pendant, you wouldn't need the jump ring probably, just because it would lay better without the jump ring. So truthfully, I probably don't even need to put a jump ring. I'm just thinking about that. Yeah. And if I do I'm gonna take that off, y'all. I'm just gonna pop that on off of there. Because my thought is if you're gonna do this as a pendant, the necklace is gonna thread through there, and then it's perfect. So it doesn't even need a jump ring. Okay. Perfect. It'll probably be out of the camera view, or you might see just the edge of it, but I'm gonna basically start laying these on our black foam that I have, that I use just so that when we get done, I'll bring that into view and show that better. Okay, I gotta look at these ones to make sure there's not pairs that I'm making into necklaces. This is gonna be a pendant. There's not anything different. So a C clamp is the way to go. Yep, it's too closed. These pink ones are not the best, but they'll work. They'll work. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. You guys see those shirts? It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. And it's really not fun. Hardest part with these is getting them to close enough that I can get my pliers on them to then, there we go, got it. The pliers on it to where then you can actually close it. I'll close that in because you want that to be closed in but allow you to have a spot to hook onto a necklace. Oh, it's so pretty. Now you could put, just so y'all know, you could put a drop of resin in here, but then this would not be movable if you do that. I've seen it both ways. I think it's really all up to the beholder on that. So I would just say go with what you think is the best given the piece that you're doing, you know. And if you want it to have some movement, then I wouldn't mess with putting resin in the hole. If you are worried it's going to come undone, then maybe put resin in it and it's just not going to move. I have done it both ways. I've seen it both ways. It's really, I think it's up to the beholder. Here's the thing. This isn't gonna go anywhere. It would have to be pretty yanked hard, and you're probably already gonna have a piece that breaks if somebody's pulling that hard on it, is how I'm looking at it, basically. I think all of these so far are gonna be pendants, and they're really, these clamps are just not open enough. Oh, these ones I think will be better than those pink ones, because at least I won't be fighting with the rounded part of these ones. And that's what I was partly struggling with. The other part is just getting it lined up once you get it on here, and then getting it to close at that point. It's almost like you want to get it just enough open that you can just wiggle it in place. But these pendants are pretty wide, so it makes it very challenging. There we go. I think that one's still good. I was like, I don't know if I need to. I feel like this one's so thick, I might need to go a step bigger on the clamp that I'm using, just because it's very thick at the top. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a different, I have different sizes of these, so I'm going to get a different one and be able to do that. Yeah. Oh, that's plenty good for this. Okay. Alright, I gotta pause y'all because I need to go put my youngest to bed. She needs mom, so hold tight. Hey, so we're back. Alright, I got my bigger clamps out too. So I think for this one I'm going to need my biggest version, just to give it the full, yeah, and that one went perfectly. Like, I was able to just enough stretch it to come around it, and then look at that. Voila! Loving it. So probably the same with this one. Oh, I really like this one. I love the shimmer of it. Yeah, it may not be so lucky. It may not be open enough. Oh, got it. I love when it goes smooth like that. Okay. I feel like we're moving. These are really pretty. I think that I want to make earrings. This one is a smidge heavy for that, but I think I want to make earrings out of these. And because of that, I will do this in gold back, just because I want them to be matching. I didn't realize that when these ones, I decided I'll do pendants. These oval ones are so big, and these are definitely so much easier to put on than those smaller ones. So we're gonna just keep rolling with that. I got one more of those. Probably need one more big one for that round one. And then I might do a medium one for these ones. We'll see. Oh yeah, this one wasn't as thick actually. It could have used a smaller one. But that's okay. It's already out. It's over here. I think as long as I get it tightened all the way. Yay! Yeah, that's another one of my favorites. I like them all. I like them all. Like, this is kind of funny. Oh, come on. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Okay. It's fun to see. Fun to see. Alright, so these ones are going to get made independent. I'm going to try this medium size. And then if I need to get the smaller, I will. But I'm thinking this way I'm not having to try to open them before getting them in there. Yeah. That is the way to go. That's how you know you get the right size. Because if you're not having to like struggle to get them open and then close them because you had to open them so wide. And I would, you probably noticed me doing this at least twice on each one. It's because when I first do it, they don't get all the way in for whatever reason. So if I do it a second squish, then I feel like they go in just a smidge further. And then, oops. And then I feel like that's secure, basically. Okay, one more. And then these ones, I'll probably try small on them. And then let's think about that. I'm going to want a jump ring on them for the earring's sake. So, yeah. We do. So that's going to get a smidge more interesting, but doable. Okay. So I was thinking I should put the jump ring on, but I'm going to have to open the jump ring anyway for the earring piece. So I think it won't matter if I put the jump ring on now or not. And I get that I'm going to have to open these. Yeah, I think I want medium on these. I was trying to stay smaller, just dainty wise for earrings, but these ones are pretty thick. So let's go the medium. Can't get them off of one another and off my fingers. Yeah, because I'm going to even have to probably almost open those up a little bit just to get them to fit. Okay. I should have maybe painted the back of that one before I got too far, but is there my clasp. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, before I attach the other things, I want to go ahead and paint this because I'm worried just about that and getting around this piece to make it look like it was done previously. Look how nice and smooth that's going on because it's smooth resin. Nobody's gonna be looking at the clasp that close, right? I'm gonna answer for y'all. You're gonna encourage me that nobody's gonna be paying attention that I got a little spot of gold on the clasp. Artist were worst critic. I do wonder sometimes, like, when I'm creating, I'm truly not the most patient person. Really not. But somehow when I'm creating, it's like even though I'm not patient and the creative process takes time, like this takes time to do, I'm relatively like fine with that. But in life, I'm not patient. And then the other thing too is that I'm very, what was I going to say, like, overcritical of myself, and I fear rejection a lot of times. And so it's almost like, it's funny because despite that, I love creating, which is funny because if I'm fearful of rejection, I feel like as an artist you get rejected a lot. So I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I'm not, but you know, that's what it feels like. So, well, I don't love this big size of jumper ring. Let's try this one. These aren't as shiny as those, but I think they're what I want. And I'm letting that dry before I make that into those ones into the earrings. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into these ones. I was like, I have my jump ring somewhere. So I'm gonna put the jump ring in, which sometimes is a little interesting because you're putting a round jump ring into resin. And then I'm gonna look at this, and this is not gonna sit correctly. So it's gonna need another jump ring on it. Or I turn, actually that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn, no, I'm gonna put another jump ring on it. And then close this jump ring. Then that one's so small that I think I'll just open the earring back more than anything, because I think that will be easier to open and close. So there we go. There is the earring. Look how pretty that is. That's really, really pretty. So this was one of these. Which baggie doesn't have? Okay. I'm like, oh, right here. So this was paint pens and then, oh, where's the bag? Okay. Paint pens thin into resin. I kind of just want to get a side-by-side of them all. So that's why I'm putting our tag over there. Alright, so we did this jump ring. That's the other hard thing sometimes, is like duplicating them when you're doing earrings, because you gotta like think about, okay, well I did this, and if we were adding beads, you would have to make sure that you're lined up. I just need to put this on so that I can stop putting it down. And I usually like those other pliers, but these ones are pretty nice too, once I found them. Yay! Alright, let's not, it doesn't take much. Like when you're just connecting the earring back to a jump ring, it's not going to take much. Or like if we had opened up the jump ring to attach the earring piece, it wouldn't take much to open the jump ring for that. It's when you're going in the resin that it's definitely more challenging. Okay. Yay! It's probably dry, but let's, oh, these probably don't have their holes drilled. Stuffity stuff. Okay. So we decided that we're going to need a, let's see what color backs out. Yeah, I think those would be nice, right? Let's see, I feel like it's still a little wet. Yeah, we're gonna need a jump ring on there. Okay. So we're gonna open the earring back to attach the jump ring to then, no, we're gonna open the jump ring because the jump ring's the middle part. Y'all, it's getting to the end of the day. This working mom is getting a tad tired. It's all good. Just getting a little bit to the end of my day. And I'm just trying to find this color, same color with jump ring. I don't think I did. That does. Yep. And they're hooked together, and there's a few different colors in there. So there's our jump rings. They're already open too, which is nice. So hold on to our jump ring. Let's thread in that, and then just make sure that we're putting our back on correctly so that this will lay nicely. And then use our jump ring tool. Oh, the reason is that jump ring doesn't fit in that slot. I was like, why am I struggling? And then bring those together. Oh, those are so pretty. I mean, those I feel like I would totally wear. I might just have to have those. Although I just don't wear a lot of different earrings, but I really like this. This earring loop was kind of being strange, so just fixing it. Alright, this one. Okay. Yep. I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay. Lovely. So beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. So we gotta move those out of the way because these we're gonna have to do drilling of our holes and then edging them. And then making them into earrings. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But I don't want to lose like which bag they go into, so it's going to be kind of not so streamlined because I can't just do them all. Just because I do want to compare them. But we're going to try to get all the drilling part done, at least. I think that's the best. That had to be on thicker paper. Yep. Confirmed. Confirmed. It's like, I can just tell without even looking, just based on the sound and the resistance I was getting. Ah, dang it. I love the look of the thicker paper in a lot of these, but dang, it is a pain to get our drill to go through them. Okay. Next one. Oh my gosh. I think too, my impatientness is starting to show, isn't it, y'all? I don't have enough of a hole on the back to... Why are you stopping so quickly? This one doesn't even have a hole all the way. I think my battery's dying. So, with that, yeah, my battery's dying because it's just stopping it so quickly. What I will do is plug this baby in. And I didn't want to have to connect two videos, but that's just what we're going to end up doing, is we'll connect two videos. And so you guys won't get an additional episode. I'm just going to have to do finish these on a different video, essentially. So because we're kind of at a stuck point, I want to be able to get those all drilled before we finish them up. And where obviously I'm tired, getting super tired and struggling. I only had 4 more to go. Like, geez, goodness. I'll stop for tonight, and then we'll come back. I'll come back in a day or so and get this other video done and connect them for you guys. But look at these. Look at how pretty all of these are. Do you have a favorite? For me, it's more, which one do I not like as well as the other? I don't know if I per se have a fave. I like those too. They're so cute. These ones, I'm such a fan of that color combo. I like all these pendants. I mean, this one catches my eye, which I knew it would. This one has been catching my eye, which I knew it would. Each one has such uniqueness. This one's got so many colors in it. I love how this one is flowing. I love the brightness. This one's got some cute, like, bubbles going on inside of it. It just, man, they're just so unique. This one's got, like, this gold shimmer happening. It's just amazing. I'm just so happy with how things are turning out. So, yeah. I'm going to say goodnight for tonight. But you guys won't notice anything except probably a little bit of change of lighting and change of scenery per se. And I'll be saying, hey guys, when I come back. So I'll say goodnight for now, and I'll see you guys again really soon, since it will just flow right into the next video. And then the following week, we'll start a whole new series. Alright? See you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys. Alright. So, I'm back. Although, should be just a continuation. It's going to be a super long episode, but we're getting her done. So, fully charged. Thank goodness we can get these done. So much better when it's charged. And I'm just slipping those back in so we can keep track of what was what, who's where, when, kind of thing. You're like, which side? How's the hole started? Oh, it's not thicker paper. I got it though. Alright, 2 more sets here. Trying to do them as quickly as we can, so that we don't end up with a mega long episode. Okay. Last set. Then we get to wrap these ones up. It's that thick paper again. I was worried we were going to stall out there, but we got it. Yay! Alright. Should be done with our journaling. Yay, yay, yay. Alright. I'm going to move this out of here, because we don't really need it no more. No more, no more. Alrighty. So, we have to decide what color I want to border these with. The gold makes it so much darker, and with these, they're so airy and light. I think I'll go silver. So, silver coat the edge with our paint pen. Yep. Nice. I think that's pretty. Because I just don't want it to be so dark that it just takes away from these. Basically. That's why I'm doing it. Just a nice little silver. Better, nice. There we go. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put our connections on. I think these ones will work great. And then we determined we have to put a jump ring anyway. So I'm not worried. I'm going to put those in here so I don't have them go everywhere. Just because it'll be easier that way. that closed up, and then we'll have to do a jump ring in there, but that will connect our earring back to it. So where I did silver with these ones, I am going to do a silver earring hook, which I just have a group of them over here on the side in my toolbox that y'all can't see, I realize, but basically I just keep a bunch on hand so that when I'm doing jewelry work I can grab what I need. And we just gotta make sure that we put, oh, this jump ring is way too small. So let's not do that jump ring. I feel like those are way too big. Oh, lordy lord. Okay. Well, I'm thinking these jump rings then. It was just that jump ring is way too small for going around that. I didn't want to, like, these ones seem overly big, but so do these. I don't know, I don't have an in-between. I might have to go shop for some jump rings just to get a variety of sizes. Okay, so we gotta make sure that we put our earring the correct way so that our colored side shows to the front. There we go. So that we're like that. Yep, yep, yep. And then there we go. Yep. Love it. Okay, so those were this one. I wish there was a better way for me to kind of, oops. I totally ripped the bag, but it's okay. I have enough sticker that I'll be able to put by it so that I can see what we have. And actually, yeah, I have a separate, I have two of these black things, so I'm going to do this, where all these ones that we're doing experiment-wise, I can kind of put on a separate black thing. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And then we'll bring those forward when we get done. Okay. Okay, on to the next. These have some yellow in them. Let's try the gold on these and see. If we hate it, it will. It's gonna be done. Like, too bad if we hate it. I mean, you probably go over it with silver if we hated it that badly. But I think this will be pretty. I'm getting a line from when I grab it. Okay. Yep. Getting it. Nice. Okay. Of course, I don't have these like C-clamps in gold. I don't even know if they make them in gold. That'd be pretty nice if they did. My concern though with this is those are super wet. So I just gotta keep them noted with which ones they are and move to the next. These are gonna be silver. I can tell, I'm pretty certain already that I want them to be silver. Yeah, I do. It gives you just such a different look. That would be the only thing. I should have maybe did them all silver so that we get a better comparison. Keep all things the same, but well, doodle doodles. Messed that up. It's okay though. There we go. It almost didn't look like I did the one side, but I had. Well, I got a little carried away there. It's okay though. It's not enough carried away that I'm gonna need to like try to get that off. So we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen and keep rolling. Yeah, it's not enough of a mess up that it needs to be. If I had gone to the front of this piece with that marker, then I would have needed to, but it just came up the side a little bit and it's not noticeable. I have to look pretty close for it, so yeah. All right, get us a clamp. That's the other thing. I like this silver pen a lot better. It dries so much faster. I was like, did I lose my paper that was in my little baggie? But I found it. Like, are these my small C-clamps? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we gotta go these bigger ones. I mean, it just is what it be. It is what it be. Although that one looks way smaller than that one. So I want to make sure that I'm smaller size going. Oh, righty. My earring backs are hooked together. Get one of these. Whoop. Again, making sure that it's going to come out the correct way. The back. Go. I try not to open my jump rings like excessively too much, just so that you're not compromising the jump ring itself. But sometimes you just get a little carried away. It happens, you know. Look, how many more of these do we have? Too many. We did a lot in this series. Gracious. Kind of forgot how much we did. Until we're like piecing them all together here. So I did do gold on this where I don't have gold clasp. You could really do either gold or silver earring attachments. And my gold is very gold. Do I want that? No, I think I'm going to stick with the silver. I just might do the not so bright silver. Sometimes too, when you get earring things, you'll get one like this that doesn't have the little spring piece and the little bead. I just throw them in a container that's separate. I guess I eventually could get them, gather them, and maybe make something with them, or I should toss them. I haven't quite decided. I just am gathering them in a little container for now. Or like if you had two that were, you know, missing the same pieces, then I guess you could use them for a pair of earrings. But when I'm making like this, I try to be matchy-matchy. And so there we go. Well, that one I'm going to have to tighten on the earring loop. It's a little too open. So close that up just a smidge and voila. I've decided that I'm putting them on their baggies now. It just seemed better than ripping into them completely. And I'm probably not going to be able to fit them all on this one, so I'll have some on this and some on the other, because we still have 4 sets to do right here, which is kind of wild. Yeah, I think silver is the way to go here. This one too. Just looks the best to me. Plus it dries so fast. Whoops. Okay, that was close. Alrighty. Slow myself down a tad. Just to be a little bit less wild and free with us. Yeah. Perfect. Locking it. You can kind of see where this one has got a little funky thing, but it's fine. Just wasn't a flat surface. Clean up. Yep. And then that little top part. Okay. Oh, somehow I'm stuck to it. I don't know how. We're kind of getting into a rhythm here, per se. I feel like. Probably shouldn't have said that. Probably jinxed myself. I was like, oh yeah, I got this lined up and I totally missed it. And it's just a smidge small. Then you get it open and you're like, crap. Now it's a smidge too much. Okay. Let's throw another jump ring or 2 in there. I need to grab another couple. That's a bright silver one. Oh, we ended up with, ooh, we almost put that on backwards. Caught myself. I had a split second there where I almost did it backwards, and I was like, oh, no, we gotta put that the other way so that it shows correctly. There we go. Loving it, loving it, loving it. That jump ring, I felt it do something weird. There we go. Okay. And I feel like this one has a similar issue that I just need to tighten the loop there. Alrighty. Look at that. Another group done. That was thick paper. Try to try to kind of put them together. Okay, what we got here? I didn't note thin or thick paper on this one. Kind of hard to tell. I think it's thin, though. Oh yeah, edge them. I was like, first things first, what are we doing? We need to edge them. I'm gonna stick with silver. I just feel like that is the way to go with them. These don't have as much gold accents, and where I do have the silver features, I just feel like that's a better. Although I do like how those gold ones turned out over there. That we did. But so far these are all calling silver to me, so we're just gonna keep with that calling, and if I find another one that I decide I want to do gold, we'll do it in gold. But for now, this just seems to be the way it is. This one's a little funky. It's not really even, but it's on such a small surface, it's ultimately not going to matter. Okay. Now, ooh, jump rings everywhere. I should have closed that. I knew better. But did I follow my I know better? Oh, we're not ready for jump rings anyway. Let me just jab them, jab them. I'll tell you that I love these clasps that I use. They are really tricky. So if somebody knows a tip for this part, I would love it. It's like when I first started doing jewelry when I was a teenager. Working with jump rings was always so challenging. And I was like, golly, there's got to be a better way. And then I saw somebody, like when I was in my 20s or maybe even 30s, use one of these jump ring tools that I'm using on my finger here and to open and close a jump ring. And I was like, that is freaking brilliant. I'm like, how have I, in all my beading and jewelry making, never known about this? And then, by golly, you couldn't find them. And it took me forever to find them. Now I see them in like kits that I've gotten my daughters. Like, I think this one actually came in a kit that my daughter didn't need. She's like, do you want this? I was like, yeah. It's like gold in the beading world. And I've got another one that I already had, but I was like, I can never find it. And it took me forever to find that one. And so I was like, you must have it. She was like, okay, Mom, calm it down. I was like, oh, but I must have it because it was one of those things that I just didn't ever have them. And so I love it. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of tool for those clasps that I just don't know about that help you attach them, like get some in grip or something, or maybe the trick is having magnetic pliers that then hold it, you know, so that you could hold it like this essentially, and then I don't know, but maybe there's a trick one of y'all know that I don't know about. And I haven't really looked into it per se, but it's just like when I was doing jump rings, I just thought that's how you had to do them. You had to take 2 pliers to open them like this and open them, and then set one down, and then you're like without a hand to maneuver. It was a whole thing, but nope. Somebody came up with a jump ring tool somewhere along the way. And I feel like I was probably late to the game, but you know what? Better late than never is what they say. And yeah, now I've seen them all over, of course. So it just must be now. It's almost like now when you buy bead kits, it's a standard feature. If your kit comes with jump rings, that they give you a jump ring thing. Let's see. This one doesn't say thin paper or not. Oh, I didn't paint the sides of these. I got so excited. I don't know if they need really painted. I'm going to paint them. It will bug me that I didn't. I'm just not going to get... Well, yeah, I'll be able to get the tops. Okay. I was like, I'm just not going to be able to get the tops, but I'll be able to. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, paint my finger. It's all good. Yeah. That looks good. But this one I didn't note thicker than paper either. Isn't that funny? It's marker. Yeah, this is the right thing to do, to paint them. It just, I mean, they look fine. It doesn't make much difference, but it is a smidge. So, like, okay. Alrighty. Let's pull these out. I'm probably going to do silver with them too. Likely. Yeah. Because this is a very muted. I want to do silver. Okay. Let's just go ahead and I got my pen in hand. Guess what, y'all? This is our last little set. Eek. I'm really excited. Then we get a look at them all. See which ones we like. That's gonna be awesome. Awesome. Okay. I don't think I even roughed that edge up at all. That's funny. Okay. Alrighty. Yay. Okay, I need one more. These little claspy guys. And then, oops. Yay. Clasped on. Clasp off. No. Clasp off. Clasp off. Okay. And then, there we go. Yep. Yay. Okay, these are too small. Let's throw these over here. So I have these little bead containers. I got these when there was a craft store going out of business, and it was like a knockoff craft store. I don't want to say that. It was like a mom and pop kind of craft store, is what I should say. It wasn't like a knockoff type thing per se, but they had like all kinds of random stuff, and it was in the middle of nowhere. Surprised they lasted as long as they actually did, but ultimately they went out of business. And they were going out of business, and I snagged some things. That one just feels weird, but it's not. And one of them was, it had these clear, kind of clear containers that then had a bunch of these smaller containers. It had two sizes. Had this size container and this size container, and it held, I can't even remember, like 50 each or something, you know. And so I got two of them for relatively inexpensive, and I still use them to this day. They hold a bunch of my beads. But then I have, as I've emptied things or moved things around, then I was like, I really need to use them to hold my jump rings. So they hold my jump rings in my main jewelry toolbox that I keep. That way I can kind of keep it all together. We're getting more and more organized. It's a slow process. I get this place organized, and then my husband and I'll buy our dream home or build our dream home. You know, it's like 10 years down the road, but we'll do that, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm so disorganized again. That's what's going to happen. I just know it. Alrighty. I'm just throwing a few of those things back where they go so that I don't lose them. One of those being my jump ring, because I just don't want to lose that. Okay. And I hope that I was in screen for y'all for a lot of that, but it is what it is now. Alrighty, so look at these earrings. Look at how pretty these earrings are. Like, I'm going to bring them down. I'm like, okay, which ones are my favorites? I really like these. These were paint pens, rub the back off. Thick. Back off thick. Oh, sorta. Rub the back off. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I like them all. I think paint pens were my favorite, though, because, like, I'm drawn to these, too. And those are paint pens. Thin paper into the resin. These are paint pens, thin paper. But I didn't put, did I go directly into the resin? I must have. Markers paper. Markers thick paper. Resin hardened first, then rubbed off. Markers resin hardened first, then rubbed off. That's funny that I did two markers that way. These were markers added to the resin. I might have hooked that one backwards. Y'all? Yep, I sure did. Alright, let's fix that really quick. So, I'm just going to show y'all. If this were to go in to your ear, this would be our front, which is pretty. But this is meant to be the front. With this, the odd shape. So, I have my earring piece on incorrect. So, we just got to fix that. Oh, and I grabbed my other jump ring. So, see, I've got one that's silver and one that's gold. So, we just pop that off. My pliers are in the way. Put that the other way. That's probably why I didn't catch it, was because really this one could have been either way. But when I was sitting there, I was like, I don't see the three-dimensional. Okay, so that was marker added to the resin. This was marker on thick paper added while resin is wet, and we had some bubbles from that. And then these were paint pens on thick straight into the resin. So definitely had a variety there. I don't know if I have like a particular thing. I think the hardened part gives you a cleaner look. If you're going to go into the resin, you're likely to get more bubbles. And that's what I would say with those. So I'll show these one more time, just so that you can get a good look at them all. Try to let the camera kind of focus on them. And mind you, these aren't huge, because here's my finger. I don't have very long nails. So you can see they're not like very big. I know I'm coming close to the camera, but that's just so that you can see the detail in them. And then, if you recall these, I showed those in between the transitioning of these videos. But here are all of these ones. And again, they're not that big. There's my finger again. Pretty small. Look at those. These, to me, are still one of my favorites. For sure. Look at that. Pretty amazing. So I know that was a super long series. I don't typically like to do that long of a series just because I know it's hard to keep everybody's attention, and you know, we all want things quickly, all that, but I appreciate everybody who stuck it out with me on this one. And don't forget to subscribe. I was going to say, don't forget to subscribe and save, but that's Amazon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube, follow on TikTok and Instagram. Though I'm not as active on those two right now, but definitely get on them so that you can see previous stuff if you want to, and stay up to date on things. But I promise next week I am super excited for y'all to see those tutorials. It is something that has really just blown my mind. It took kind of what we did here and brought it to a whole nother level, and I'm super excited for you guys to see that and learn that tutorial. And it will be just a 2-parter, so it will be a relatively quick learning, easy process. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.